Hey, it's Dan Charles with Cannabiz News, and we're going to do our weekly stock report. Now, last week I looked at the Canadian cannabis stocks. I'm going to relook at everything I said and see what my accuracy was like. So that's where we're going to go. We're going to start with. Okay, so here's HMMJ. This is the cannabis stocks index. And I said on last weekend that I figured we were topping out. Most of the Canadian cannabis stocks have been on quite a run lately, and I figured they were due for a pullback. And this being the index, the basket that holds a lot of these Canadian cannabis stocks, I figured this would definitely pull back. So what happened was it tried to go higher. Of course, it didn't come close to the high of 1063, and we also hit some of this divergence dot here. Anyways, it got rejected at the high of 1050, and now this really looks confirmed that it's gonna pull back next week. So that's HMMJ. Let's look at Weed, which is Canopy Growth Corporation, the leader in the Canadian cannabis stocks. The market cap of 2.2 billion, trading on the TSX. Okay, so this stock, here's same thing. Pretty much every stock last week I said I figured they were topping out and I wouldn't be a buyer. I would probably exit my positions. This continued to go higher. It made a new high of 1378 on the 11th, and then on the 12th it came within a few cents of that high at 1375, found some resistance, pulled back, and then on the Friday it looked like it had a little pullback, and then the buyers bought it back up. So this also has this divergence dot as well, so that usually will indicate price is going to come down with my software that I use. So this one being the leader, I still feel like this is going to pull back. I think the move has been such a massive move for these Canadian cannabis stocks that it's definitely due for a pullback. But this one looks probably the best if you're a bull, because this does look like a typical pullback and then another move up. But I'd be waiting and watching this one. Next, let's look at Aurora Cannabis, which is symbol ACB. Okay, so here is Aurora Cannabis, ACB. Here's what I said last week. I said would hit this resistance, the high of 319. So I was pretty sure this one was going to pull back, and it's did just that. Again, we got another divergence dot, and the trend is starting to, it's still in an uptrend, but these are starting to roll over, and I do feel like this is going to pull back and go sideways for a little bit. Again, right now all the cannabis stocks are definitely looking bullish, but you're going to have pullbacks in uptrends just like you're going to have pull-ups and downtrends. So this is right now it's pulling back, so I'd be waiting and watching, because it may not continue the uptrend. It may actually keep going lower. So, but right now I would be sitting on the sidelines with this one as well. Next is Afria, APH. Okay, here is APH, and here's where I said the same type of thing. I said it was topping out. So what happened was it did make a little bit of a higher price at 792. The high over here was 788. But you can see these little red lines, so it keeps hitting resistance prices. And so when I look at this, I just see a stock that's starting to look overextended. Like, you got to be realistic in how much higher price can go. So there definitely could be one more pop up, but you have to be realistic, as I don't care if it's a stock, a currency, or a commodity, nothing is going to just keep going like this. It's always going to need to pull back, and then if it's even going to start a new uptrend, it's going to look something like this. It could go sideways before it breaks out again, and then you get your signal to re-enter or just enter for the first time. But this looks more like it could have another day, maybe another 2 left in it, but I just it's been such a big move for these stocks that I wouldn't be a buyer. Next is MJN, which is Kronos Group. Okay, so I still have my little diagram in from last time. So here was the high, and I said it hit some resistance, but I figured it could pull back and then continue an uptrend. That's what I was looking for. And it did that. It did just do that. Well, it didn't pull back like I was anticipating, but it did continue this move up. Might be a bit of resistance at $3.30, but I just think this stock is starting to look expensive right now, and there's only so much moves up you can have here. There's a lot of red, a lot of green here, a lot of green. Nothing keeps going up forever. So I like to wait for a nice pullback like you see in here, and then look for an entry where I'd enter here. I'd enter here, I'd enter here, but once you don't want to get in too late, because like I said, the moves are not going to keep going forever. So you got to pick your spots. And I've been in this business a long time, over 18 years trading forex, commodities, stocks, large cap, penny stocks, and then of late, well, since 2014, I've been in the cannabis stocks. Made a lot of money in 2014, made a lot of money in late 2016, and now like I said in my last video, I just missed this entire move because my money is in other things, mainly currencies, mainly futures, and I just missed the boat. But I can still give you my analysis. So next we're going to look at Organigram, OGI. And this was the last one. Okay, so here is where I gave the analysis on the 6th. You can see we had resistance. We had resistance at $3.08. On the Tuesday, because Monday was a holiday in Canada, so this would be Tuesday the 10th. It still hit that resistance. It couldn't break it through on the Tuesday, and then finally broke through on the Wednesday the 11th. But as you can see, it's hit more resistance, and now it's pulling back. So this is what I mean by it. Just a lot of these stocks look like they were topping out. Obviously a couple broke through, but I just don't think they have too much more steam left in them to keep going. So one thing I always, in my career in this business, is I never get down when I make an analysis. I exit a stock and it maybe keeps going a little bit more before it eventually pulls back. Maybe it goes for another 2-3 days or even a week. It continues to push higher until the pullback happens. So I never get too down on myself if I pulled out a little bit too early, because I'd say 8 out of 10 times my analysis is dead on. So anyways, these are the same stocks from last time, and that's my analysis for the week. So I hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see you next week.